Hey everyone, Wyduck here again, this time welcoming you to Game 2 of a Best of 3 series from Group A action from the Winter Dreamhack 2013 edition. And this time on Polar Night, we've got spawning at the 6 o'clock position, spawning as the Green Terran representing Mouse Sports, and hailing from Spain, we have Mr. Barcode himself, Lucifron. And Lucifron's opponent, winning game 1 in this best of 3, spawning at the 12 o'clock position as the Red Zerg, representing Team Liquid, and from Germany, we have the Little One. And the Little One was able to take a decisive victory in the previous game. And if you didn't catch that cast, I mostly attribute it to when Lucifron decided to go for Cloaked Banshee harass, and he really didn't make sufficient use of his Banshees. And then from then on, I think the momentum was in TLO's favor, and he was able to ride it out to victory. So here on Polar Night, I'm really excited to see if Lucifron's going to do something exciting. And I guess my spidey senses were tingling, and here we are. We're going to see a double barracks proxy, it looks like. Here on Polar Night, I mean, this is one of the advantages when you play a two-player map. You don't have to scout out where your opponent is. You know exactly where he is. And it's going to take a while for that Overlord to get over to Lucifron's base to detect that there's a lot of key integral structures missing from his base. So this game could be very short. We are seeing a spawning pool behind the hatchery. So TLO is going to have his hands full in a few moments. That Overlord is slowly drifting. In about 20 seconds or so, he should be able to see that there are no barracks here. And then he should be very suspicious. But the first Marines are coming out of that barracks. And we do see that Overlord moving over. Yes, he doesn't see the barracks here, so it's basically been confirmed there's some hijinks going on here. And that first Marine is moving out. Drones are moving out as well to go to that natural. And that Overlord is going to be able to see that first Marine. That Overlord should be able to get over this crane-looking thing. And should be sheltered from further Marine fire. But at the same time, we do have SEVs joining the battle. And it looks like we are going to see double bunkers being put down. Very aggressive by triple bunkers being put down by Lucifron. Very, very aggressive. But we do have two spine crawlers behind this, as well as Zerglings. And with so many spine crawlers, I think these bunkers are going to have some difficulty surviving, because spine crawlers do have much better range than Marines in the bunker. But the plus side for Lucifron is that he does have, excuse me, one Marine does go down, but he does have this bunker here actually in range of the hatchery. So if the hatchery is dispatched of quickly enough, then there won't be any creep. And I don't see any queens on the tab for TLO. So this hatchery is going to be taking a huge beating. And like I said, once that hatchery does go down, if it does go down, then we're not gonna really have to worry about the spine crawlers, because they won't have any creep to go on. And that hatchery is gonna go down. One queen is coming out, but it's taking a while, and so that hatchery is gonna pop. And now TLO is actually supply blocked as well. And these spine crawlers are doing a lot of damage to these bunkers. We have 5 or 6 SCVs repairing, so it doesn't look like this is going to work out for TLO. It's going to be a while before he's going to be able to break through here. He does have quite a few Zerglings. But the Zerglings could get munched up pretty quickly by these Marines in the bunkers. And if you take a look, these spine crawlers are taking significant damage now because they are not on that creep. TL is going to have some problems here, as Lucifron is just going to continuously repair. At the same time, we do have a command center being built, and the barracks are going to float back to block off that natural, and if that succeeds, then TL will be very behind. And it looks like the Marines are going to be able to push that spine crawler back. I think a creep tumor will be placed down by this queen very shortly here. 25 energy. not put down. Yes, there we go. Yes, the creep tumor is going to go down. So eventually these spine crawlers will be able to get some nutrients and finally will not be losing the life so easily. The Marines come down to focus down on that creep tumor, but it actually is able to get down anyways. So now we've got 3 spine crawlers getting that much needed creep. So Lucifron, if he was more aggressive there, he might have been able to pop that creep tumor and delay the spine crawlers even further. But right now, it looks like there is one Marine trying to run up that ramp, and he's going to be able to. Very interesting. Able to see exactly what's going on. Is he going to be able to see that Baneling's nest? Yes, he is. But at the same time, we have about 24 Zerglings moving to the southern portion of the map to face Lucifron directly. We have one bunker here, but it's not full. And this could be a problem as Lucifron has no idea what is coming. And if there's any holes here, the Zerglings can squeak by. But it looks like with that Baneling's nest, he's just going to go for the good old Baneling bust. And now Lucifron really has to be on the defensive here, but he has no idea that all these Zerglings and Banelings are over here. In fact, he's still got quite a few Marines and SCVs repairing these bunkers. We do have another bunker going down, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to make it. The Banelings are already at the door. The Marines are pulling back. The bunker is going to go down immediately. One Baneling left still over. And now the Marines are going to have to fall behind the supply depot wall. This Baneling is not going to be able to get any damage on it yet. But even if it did explode on that supply depot, the supply depots would have survived. So it looks like we are going to have an engagement here. The Zerglings are creating havoc at that natural for Lucifron. So this is very unfortunate for Lucifron. He is going to have to lift off all his barracks and the command centers as well. So both players are stuck on one base. So this is going to be a low economic game, at least for the time being. And you also have to remember here, Lucifron's actually losing quite a few minerals all the time because the SCVs are constantly repairing against these spine crawlers. So you cannot negate that. And TLO's also opted for a hatchery in a very strange location here. Actually, 2 very strange locations. So this is very, very, very good for TLO because Lucifron has no idea about either base. Now, if I was Lucifron, I would be kind of suspicious because I don't think any Zerg player could stay on one base for so long unless he was doing an all-in or transitioning to Mutalisk or something like that. So if I was Lucifron, I would be looking for another base somewhere. I wouldn't have thought that TLO would have 2 bases going, but I definitely would be suspicious that there wasn't one up already. But TLO is hemming Lucifron very nicely into his base. He's forming more and more Banelings as well. And once those Banelings finish, he'll be able to come in here and finish off these Marines quite easily, I believe. The Banelings are not going to be able to get in here. Lots of cancels, and that's going to allow the Banelings actually to survive and not waste themselves on those half-constructed buildings. And Lucifron is now going to be transitioning to double Hellion production, but at the same time, now the second hatchery is up and running for TLO. His third is almost finished as well. And now it is finished, so it's actually TLO who has 3 bases to the one of Lucifron. Even though supplies are very close, I think Lucifron is actually quite a bit behind because it does take 1 minute and 40 seconds to construct another base. Now, he does have to just land this orbital command, but with so many Zerglings around, it's very difficult for him to do that. It looks like the Banelings might just come up the ramp, blow up the supply depot wall. Yes, that wall is going to fall, but the Zerglings think better of going up that ramp. There are 2 full bunkers full of Marines, and the supply depot is bringing down. I'm going to have to call another SCV over to repair. Yes, it will get repaired. And we still have the 3 spine crawlers going to town on this bunker and still getting repaired. But I think this is going to be the end of the bunkers as the SCVs are surrounded by the Zerglings now. No more repair is going to help. If I was Lucifron, I would try and salvage these. Get some minerals out of these if you can. It doesn't look like there's any salvages going on, so I guess well, one salvage was initiated, but it is not going to finish. So TLO able to finally get his natural. But he already has 2 more bases up and running, so it's not that crucial for him. But it is crucial for Lucifron, like I said, to move out here, figure out where these bases are, and put a dent in the economy of the Zerg. Otherwise, in a few minutes, I feel Lucifron is going to get overrun by just too much Zerg power from their very good economy. And I guess this is one of the huge advantages of the spine crawlers compared to the sunken colonies of StarCraft 1 is the fact that you can move them before, you know, sunken colonies build them on creep and then they can't do anything. That is the base. That is the base. If that base is no longer useful, they're stuck there. But in StarCraft 2, they're much more useful, and it looks like they will be replanting themselves at the 2 new expansions. Now, what we do have here is quite a few Hellions. We have 8 Hellions here, and a scan does go down. The Hellions are not going to be able to do too much except destroy some creep colonies, but we do have the Marines moving in here, able to focus down on that Spine Crawler, so the Spine Crawler will fall immediately, and we don't have a lot of units here. This Evolution Chamber will be focused down as well. The Roaches are coming back from both bases to try and rally to defend at the main. Now, there are no medevacs and there are no combat shields or stim available to these Marines. So these Marines are very weak and very, very delicate. And it looks like we are going to get the good old pincher attack. The Roaches are firing on those Marines. Zerglings are in there tanking a lot of damage. There's only one Marauder, but that Marauder is not going to survive. And now the entire army of Lucifron has been destroyed quite easily. And now TLO has a 20 supply advantage. Now the scan does go down. Trying to look for bases, not able to find one. So Lucifron has no idea these 2 bases are operating. Lucifron does know that the Roaches came from somewhere. And now Lucifron is preparing for the counterattack. But is he going to be able to get these 2 bunkers up in time? And remember, there are no Marauders in this composition either. So this is highly problematic as Marines are not that good against Roaches. Marauders are much, much better. But we don't see any here currently. And it looks like the Roaches are going to move in here. Focus fire down on that bunker. The bunker falls down immediately, and the Roaches are going to fall back, taking some damage from the Widow Mines and taking some damage from those Marines. But once again, the Roaches are doing significant damage, and they're quite a tanky unit. A lot of them are in the red currently, but they're able to destroy at least that first bunker, and now Lucifron is really reeling. Now Lucifron is going to try and counter with a medevac drop, but that's going to leave him prone because that's 8 less units he's going to be able to use to defend against his oncoming onslaught. The Roaches are moving forward, focusing down on these Marines. They may be going up the ramp very soon. Instead, they're going to focus down on the bunker. No, they are going to be going up the ramp. The Supply Depot does go up, but the Supply Depot is going to get focused down, and it will be destroyed immediately. The Roaches are causing a lot of havoc in the production area. It looks like the SCVs are trying to get in here to provide some sort of shield, but actually the Marines are blocking the SCVs. But it looks like it's another pincher attack. We've got Roaches on the high ground. We have pinchers on the we got Roaches on the low ground, excuse me. And the Marines are just falling left, right, and center. And there's not much that Lucifron can do. He's down by 70 supply. I think that's going to be it. Lucifron's production facilities are all under fire from all these Roaches. We've got lots of Roaches on the map, 29 in total. And unfortunately for Lucifron, his 2 barracks proxy attempt did not work out. And now, as retribution, the Roaches are going to go to town in his town, munching down on all these Marines and SCVs. And 3 Marines versus 15 Roaches is not a very good number. And Lucifron is going to tap out. So TLO is going to take the series convincingly 2-0 against Lucifron. So very, very, very interesting set of games. So congratulations to TLO. Good game by both players. And I hope to see you guys next time.